All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Hooper's Delight Podcast, episode 11, part 2, or episode 12, whatever you want to call it. We are here to have a conversation about the Owyhee Storm and where we are at with them as a program, what is happening in the state of Idaho. To kind of end the year, I think this is something we wanted to do to start Hooper's Delight Podcast, but we decided to wait until after they won the state championship, which if they wouldn't have won, we probably still would have had the conversation, but I think we planned it out pretty well. So let's get into this. There's a lot of hate and a lot of disagreement and a lot of anger towards the Owyhee Storm men's basketball program, towards their administration, towards what they're doing over there and how they're doing it. And we are here to educate you on why we feel it's very beneficial and important, and hopefully help people understand what they're misunderstanding. So you want to jump into this, or you want me to just spearhead it?
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead. All right. So first off, people have this understanding or this misconception, I guess, in my opinion, that Owyhee is recruiting and they're cheating and they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing. So let's let's touch on that. This isn't supposed to be a negative thing towards people. This is something where Coach Key and I are going to try to help people understand the culture of basketball in the United States, because we are in Idaho and there is a giant lack of understanding of what the basketball culture has become, what it's been about. You've heard us say before, Idaho's behind, Idaho's behind. You've got ESPN analysts talking about Idaho being behind. Like, this is a conversation throughout the basketball community all the way up to the NBA level. And my problem with it is that the people who don't have an understanding are the people lipping off and creating the toxicity, if you will, making things, I guess, frustrating and divisive. And that's where we're at as a state. Boys basketball has become very divisive amongst the coaches, if you didn't know, amongst players, parents, families. And that's not what Owyhee's doing. It is not what people think that's what they're doing, but I believe what they're doing is they're exposing other people and the lack of hard work. And I'm not calling anybody out specifically, but what Owyhee is doing is this. They have built a program. They have opened the gym 24/7, which most of these schools around the state are not doing for whatever reason. Oh, we can't. Oh, we're not allowed to. Well, taxpayer dollars are coming from all of us on the outside. These gyms should be open. There's no question. What Owyhee has done with opening the gym and creating a culture where they play nationally televised games on ESPN. First team to do that in Idaho history. They not only open the gym and playing nationally televised games, they're playing a national schedule. They're going to the Classic at Damien and playing nationally ranked teams. They're bringing nationally ranked teams to Owyhee to play in a holiday tournament. Salesian just won the NorCal championship. Now they have to go play Liam Campbell's former school, Harvard Westlake, to see who the California champion is. So we had a chance to possibly have the California champion here this year, and nobody went out to watch it because it was by Owyhee, at Owyhee, for Owyhee, or whatever. That's not the right mindset, folks. And jump in whenever you want, because there's a lot to touch on here. My problem is this. What Owyhee's doing is what everyone else does around the country, okay? And they are incorporating club basketball, which a lot of people think is an infection. A lot of high school coaches and old heads, if you will, think that club basketball is ruining everything. Let's get something straight. Club basketball has more weight and more pull than high school basketball. Why, you might ask? Well, during the high school season, all of these college coaches are doing every single thing they can to keep their job and win games. They're not focusing necessarily full throttle on recruiting. They have coaches that help recruit. They keep up with social media and do these things. But when their season ends at the end of March Madness and it's club ball time, that's when they're out on the circuits at the open periods, seeing guys, getting to know guys, getting a feel for guys. It's more important than high school basketball. High school basketball, especially in Idaho, in my opinion, is all about the status and a bunch of other things that don't matter. You go to high school practice, we'll say 6 times a week. For the top programs, you say they take Sunday off. You go 6 times a week. What's the focus? It's usually the team concept, plays, and all these type of things. There's individual work, but that's not where you get better. You get better then going and working with guys like you, Okay? It's the off hours, away from practice. That's where guys make the most improvement. Club basketball. You may have a club basketball practice once or twice a week. Some clubs don't practice, but we'll say you have 2 practices a week for an hour and a half. That's 3 hours a week, team concept, trying to put some stuff in that short period of time to get your team ready to go play on the circuit and have a little bit of organization and quick hitters. Where are you getting better? It's during the club season on your own, in the gym, with your trainer, at T3, at HSB, all these different places that offer gym time. Owyhee, come play. Open gym, open gym, open gym, open gym, open gym. That's not at every school. So they've created a culture that Owyhee is connected with Select basketball. Andy Harrington coaches at Select. So do his assistants, okay? That's a club. Select is incorporated with Owyhee, okay? C of I has coaches from Select. Coach Blaine at C of I, national championship, about to do it again. Coaches at Select. So there's a tie there. Coach James Jansen at TVCC. They just won their conference. And 2 years ago, everybody in the Valley thought they could play for TVCC. Now maybe 1 or 2 seniors from the league this year could play at TVCC and are actually getting looked at. And so you've got a junior college tie. So you've got a junior college tie, you've got the NAIA champion, junior college champion, and then you've got the top basketball program, right, in the state now, which is Owyhee, and then you've got Select, which is the top club program that has been out here for a long time, okay? They've monopolized it. Beautiful business plan. I think it's wonderful. It's great. They got there first. They put it together. People don't understand that. So when you come to Owyhee, you don't just have an opportunity to win a state championship. You have an instant opportunity to play for college coaches with Select. Your boy, Mr. Hobbs, is coaching out there at Carroll.
Yep.
He's a Select coach.
Yep.
Okay? You've got college coaches all over. You got college coaches at Lewis Clark State coaching for Select. Okay? They offer a different experience. So let's talk about Premier. Premier is directly correlated with Meridian.
Right.
All those Meridian guys
And Mountain View.
and Mountain View. The Meridian Mountain View guys are directly correlated with Premier. Okay? Meta Hoops is more Boise Timberline.
Right.
Right? Culture Shock, Capital,
CUNA.
Okay? So everybody's doing it.
Right.
Select is the top of the pyramid. That's just what it is. We those who know. So Owyhee comes in and kids all of a sudden want to go there because of what they've built. If you build it, they will come. That culture is in place and people are pissed off about it. They're recruiting. They don't have to recruit. Their coaches' job is to build relationships with kids, which are other players from other schools, okay? There are other players from other schools playing at Select because of what they built.
Right.
And then kids see what it is and they have opportunity here, and there are kids that want to transfer. And then we got people like you and people like me getting phone calls about helping helping Owyhee recruit. You've got to be kidding me.
Right.
You know how many kids I've told not to go to Owyhee? Do you know how many kids I've told to go to Owyhee? Every situation for every kid is different.
It's different.
For example, if I have a kid come to me and say, I don't like my situation, what do you think would be a good situation for me? Which I've had about 20 to 30 kids do in the last 5 years. And I have helped kids transfer. I do not ever tell kids, I think you should leave, get away from that coach is garbage. I told Dallin Turpin, Caden Johnson, Russell Gibson, go to Eagle. Then I had a kid come to me, Andrew Didon. What's a better situation for me? Well, you're a shooter. You want to have a free reign. Go play for Centennial. He did it. He was all conference, college basketball player, played in a state championship. Josh Christensen came to me. Hey, it's not working for me. I might be a JV player again. Blah, blah. Well, what's a better situation for me? I said, well, if I was you looking at the different teams, because I know the teams better than anybody. I know these coaches, and I know the kids. I have relationships with the kids, because that's what matters. I tell Josh Christensen, I think you'd be a point, especially your senior year, at Meridian. I think you'd fit in perfect. What happens? He goes to Meridian. He has to sit out a year for garbage reasons, and then his senior year leads him to the state championship game.
Right.
And was all conference.
Right.
So anyway, we are not sitting here telling everybody to go to Owyhee. I had a kid call me from Utah 3 days ago. Where should I go to high school? Well, it depends what you want. Do you want to play early? Do you want to win a state championship? Do you want a college-type program? What do you want? Because if you want to play early and you want free reign, I love Oppersbach.
Right.
If you want to focus on improving defensively and being in a system, go play for Noble. If you want a college level program and a lot of guys are going to get a lot of minutes, but you're going to win, go play for Sainer.
Right.
If you want to win a state championship, but not potentially play early, go to Owyhee. Gym's going to be open 24/7.
Right.
It's going to plug in with select. You're going to have opportunities. If you don't get D1, you're going to have an opportunity to go play at the national champ, NAIA champ,
Right.
or go to TVCC and play for Coach James, who's one of the best recruiters I've ever met and plugged in all over the country, who used to coach at Simpson in California. So anyway, I'm going to let you talk here for a minute because I'm going to start getting angry. But people don't understand what's going on, and they don't understand who we are.
Right.
People think they know, and people can lip off and tell everybody, oh, EBC's this, or Coach Key's this, or you're this, or you're toxic, and all this stuff, when all we doing is caring about the kids, doing this for free, trying to help people reach goals, and just be a light in people's lives. How do you feel about the Owyhee situation?
I gotta fan you off real quick.
Appreciate it.
So
It's annoying.
I to be honest, and sometimes when we talk about transferring, a lot of times too, it may not even pertain to basketball, and that's the thing that gets overlooked the most. And a lot of people really don't understand. Like I've had a kid that left Owyhee based upon student activities where there was racism involved.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people out here don't understand. And so, and that's leaving a program that was a powerhouse, that is a powerhouse, to go to another opportunity. And then go to another opportunity that was better for him from a basketball standpoint, and then have another racist thing happen at a new school. So there's many things that have happened where kids can transfer, and a lot of times it may not be correlated to basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Now it might be, because some of these kids, basketball is their I don't want to say sanctuary, but it's their getaway. And so if you're in a space where you're mentally struggling because of your situation, because some of these kids don't have parents that can just pay for college. And so they want an opportunity through this game to get there. And if they're going to a place and they're being overlooked, or maybe they're not favored by a particular coach, which is okay, they want to go somewhere else because their headspace isn't correct with where they're at. That might happen at Owyhee. That might happen at Meridian or Eagle or these other places. It might happen at Middleton, right? Because coaches are not going to show love to all the same kids the same way. As we said, this is about the kids. And it gets confused and it gets twisted that people become so selfish where they make it about themselves and they have nothing to do with it.
And they don't know the kids.
And they don't know the kids.
You don't know the kid right here.
And a lot of times, what happens is that you'll see a kid in a game and they're playing with more emotion, and it may not be how you like them to play. Like right now, I've been analyzing guys, and right now in this era, kids are very, I hate to say it, but arrogant, especially coming from me, because everyone's, oh, he's full of himself talking about, great. But when I sit there and see guys they're playing with so much emotion, they hit 1-3 and they're doing all the extracurricular things, which to me, if you're really cooking, all right, cool. But sometimes they're doing this because they want to be seen, because outside of basketball, something else is going on.
Yeah.
So now I've had to understand, like, okay, why is that guy doing that? He got 3 points. He finished the game. He didn't do nothing with the game. Now he's acting like this, when it's like the whole time he just wanted to be noticed because something may be going on at home.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I've received phone calls with kids struggling about different situations where it's like, Key, I just want an opportunity. I just want somebody to believe in me. And a lot of times I get asked to coach. And it's like, because they know how much I care about them, and I want to put them in the best position to be successful. And so when I look at the Owyhee Storm and what they've done with their program, when I look at Meridian and what they've done with their program, and Centennial and Eagle, and some of these places that have really opened the doors for their kids to improve and be inside the gym. Rocky now, Timberline now. And if I'm leaving you out and you're opening the gym, my bad. But from what I have kids from all over the valley, from every school, from 5A, 4A, all the way down. And I hear the conversations amongst the kids. I hear the conversations from the parents. And it comes to me, and I look, and I know I have a pretty good relationship with quite a few of these coaches. And so I analyze each situation differently. Okay, this might be a perfect spot for you to go to. Now, you already have this issue going on outside of basketball that's making you uncomfortable and making your mental off a little bit, right? Because at the end of the day, forget hoops.
Yeah.
Forget hoops.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be in a space where you feel like you can grow and be the best version of yourself that you can be.
Yeah.
And so if we're sending you away from a place, or you want to leave out of a place that's a bad, toxic environment for your mental health, and then not only that, it's not good for you from a basketball standpoint, now you want to go somewhere else, there should be no issue with that.
Yeah.
Now, especially if you move. Some of these people sell their home and they move to go to a better situation. And sometimes it's not even correlated to basketball.
Yeah.
Some people don't have the luxury to just sell their house and get up and buy a new house.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to hold them hostage to some coach that maybe not believe in them. There's been multiple instances where coaches have told kids, hey, I don't got time to hear what you're talking about. I need to go take a nap.
Yeah.
I don't have time to hear what you're talking about. I need to go do something else. And they put this kid on the back burner. What are you doing for that kid?
Yeah.
And then it's, oh, well, they're just running from adversity. It's like, no, you don't care about them.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Because there's another kid that said the same thing, and you gave him all the time in the world to do that. So when I look at the Owyhee Storm, and everybody's complaining, and they're saying they're recruiting, they're doing this. One, if they really wanted to recruit, they don't have to. You're now two-time state champ in 3 years. You have 7 different jersey combinations. You have 10 shooting guns. The gym is always open. They're tied into off the field, which all of these programs typically are tied into off the field. So you have sports performance training with your weight, your strength and conditioning. A lot of these kids are tied into me and can work out with me in the gym, which I have the gym always open. I have weights always available. All of my kids get the luxury of having either a gym or a weight room open at all times. I'm not associated with any school. Or you can say I'm associated with all of them.
Yeah.
Because I have kids from each program. And I give them all the same opportunities. I don't just say, hey, you're Liam Campbell, you get more opportunities than a guy that's on the freshman team. I don't do that.
I have a question for you. So if people are calling you claiming that Keyshawn Liggins is helping a Owyhee recruit, then how come Chase Tibbetts didn't go to a Owyhee? How come Chase Tibbetts left Mountain View and went to a perfect situation for him because the relationship with the players on that team and Coach Oppersbach was perfect for him, perfect for his mental, and look what type of year he had. Breakout year, another breakout player,
Right.
okay? And what did that do for the kid's mental? Great.
He's happy now. Grades is better. Opportunities are coming through the doors. And one, I get to see being this close to all these players. And it's not just the men's side, the women's side as well. Seeing their growth mentally and seeing, just listening to their conversations, the confidence when they speak, as opposed to being timid, as opposed to being skittish. Where now they walk in the door and they're a personality. They have something to bring to the table where they may not have felt that way at a certain program in particular. And there's other players, right, that go to these schools, that some of these schools, they are getting the opportunity.
Mac left Owyhee
Right.
after winning the state championship. Caden Turner left CUNA where he was him.
Right.
And then he goes to Rocky to play football and basketball, and it's a better situation for him. Right. We have conversations with all these guys.
Right.
I talked to Caden Turner's mom before he decided what he was going to do, where he was looking, what was going to be best for him, his situation, based on his love for football and what he needed to be around.
And they moved.
And they moved. Yeah. So everybody out there that's lipping off can zip it and shut it and put it away, because we hear and we have an understanding, and a lot of people watch us be like, oh, these guys think they know something. Well, we know the kids, we know the game, we know the coaches, because we're relational and we take the time. And some people look at that and be like, whoa, why do you have a relationship with kids? Why are you? He's a trainer. It's about Jesus for me. I want to introduce Jesus to every person I come across, and I'm using the game of basketball to do it. I started doing the media stuff with basketball. I expanded because I brought some other guys on board that wanted to do some other things, and then we separated, and basketball is what I do and what I want to do and what I want to continue to do, the podcast and whatnot. I'm not doing anything else but basketball at this point, even when I move.
Right.
We're going to try to continue to do this Hooper's Delight thing over the internet, because we have a way to affect people positively and help these kids be seen,
right,
walk into a light, have an opportunity. Some kids just need an opportunity, which is what you're saying.
Right.
And so all this, you're helping a Owyhee recruit. Whoever is feeding that beast, you are so off base. We have told multiple guys, hey, maybe a Owyhee, and there are guys that probably going through it this year with the Owyhee. Jace Allen is probably thinking, I'm probably the best point guard in the league, and I'm not starting. But he understands what a Owyhee has to offer. He was Skyview's best player as a freshman. In his last game as a freshman, he had 22 on Eagle in a district tournament game. And then he decided to transfer, and then he comes over, loses his first year in the semis. They win one this year, and he could be looking at I played 2 quarters a game this year. Where could I go? He's not doing that.
Right.
He's like, I'm getting better. I'm in a situation that I'm with guys who are like-minded, who have the same goals as me, who have the same work ethic as me. I can be in the gym 24/7, and Liam will be there, Bowden will be there, Logan will be there, Rogers will be there, Cam will be there, my little brother Jordan will be there. Jamerson will be there. Leaf will, like, dude, those kids want to live it.
Right.
Okay. Not that other kids don't,
It's just the
but
same thing with Meridian kids are in the gym all the time
Meridian is the
too.
same
So
way.
and there's
Same way.
reason why we give praise to certain programs, and like this year, Timberline. Dude, I give them the most praise ever
Yeah.
that I've ever given them. And I was harsh on them at first. I was. They proved me wrong. They proved me wrong even with my prediction for the state tournament. I was wrong again.
Yeah.
And now I'm not gonna vote against them no more.
Yeah.
They just shut me up again. And it's no disrespect to Coach Noble. It's no disrespect to the Timberline players. I had one of my guys, Jacob Heine, love him to death. No, since I started training, he's one of my first kids. Love him to death. He's like, you didn't pick us?
Yeah. He wouldn't have
I
to.
was wrong, bro.
Yeah.
My bad. But I still, in the midst of all of that, I want what's best for the kid.
Yeah.
This guy, in particular, Jacob Heine, is a good basketball player. He's a stud at lacrosse.
Yeah.
So I'm still vouching for him. Any help he needs,
Yeah.
I got his back.
Yeah.
I know Alex Cole. Any help he needs, weight program. He lived with me for 2 years in the weight room. If he needs anything, he knows he can call me. Guys that started training with me, guys that don't train with me anymore, that had known me, they know I'm a resource to help them, whether it's getting recruited for basketball, whether it's getting in the weight room, whether it's getting into the gym. These programs that are opening up their doors for their kids to work, and sometimes you need this. I'll tell you a story. And this is bigger than basketball, and I might get emotional telling this story. There was a couple years ago that I trained a kid that went to Capitol High School. And he has a bad home life. Dad's in prison, brother's in prison. Mom is putting things in his possession that he don't need to be around. And to get away from that, he trained. And in doing so, it gave him a space where he could just clear his mind. And I love this kid to death. I helped him with so many things, from getting him school supplies, getting him clothes, giving him backpacks, helping him with his car insurance, all these things, just because I wanted to be a light in this kid's life. It comes where he finishes his career, and
This year?
this not this year, it's last year,
Okay.
2 years ago,
Okay.
1 year, either 1 or 2 years ago. He finishes his career, and he has to go to another school to finish his education so he can graduate. Gets mixed in the wrong crowd, is around the wrong people. His mom was being really good to him and had a good relationship, and he started to kind of build himself up a little bit, but was mixed with the wrong crowd. Wasn't around me anymore, just because he had to work and he had to do these other things so he could go to school. He gets in trouble at school. He has to go to juvie for a little bit, get him out of juvie. And then I took him to church and was like, hey, bro, we need to get things right. You need to get back into the gym. Like, I know you're not playing, but we need to get back into the gym, either working out in the weight room or in the basketball gym, just so you can be around positive people that love you. And all of my kids, all the people that are in adversity athletes and that know me, know that this is a family. Every single person that has ever been trained by me is a part of this family, from the top to the bottom. Derek Austin Jr. used to work out with my young kids, Chase, Fisher, Logan. Ray J. Dennis, that plays at Baylor, who I'm representing right now, he's worked out with my kids. Every single person a part of this adversity athletes family is a family. And this kid that I trained, I see him, and then I go and I try to help Idaho Premier coach. I go to Vegas, and I get a phone call, and he had been killed. And he only was away from me for not even long, not even a year. And he got shot and killed. And it was like he came to me for everything. And then when he was gone, like, I had people that tried to help him and put him in a better position, because basketball didn't work out for him. But still, he was around the family. He knew the people. People looked out for him. His best friend, Kane Smith, who was one of my originals that I love to death, was his best friend, who was hurt just like I was when we lost this kid.
I remember.
And so for people to sit there and think that, oh, you want to help schools, kids, like, we only want to help the kids. Like, I don't get paid by any high school, not one of them. But I care about this kid. I care about a kid's life, because I would never want that to happen to none of my kids again.
So you take the knowledge you have and the relationship you have with these coaches and the personnel on these teams, and personnel means the players a team has, what they have set up for the future, what's coming down the pipeline, what they got for next year. And you look at these situations, because this is what I do and this is what you do. And I'm just sharing with people how we go about this is, when a kid comes to us and questions, what do you think a better situation for me would be, or give me your opinion, or whatever. we look at the coaches, we look at the personnel, the other kids on the team, what they're going through, what based on what we know, and the parents, and just all of it. And that's how we make our decisions. Like you said, I love Jeff Sainer. I am closer to Jeff Sainer than I am any other coach in the league. Okay? That doesn't mean I'm sending everybody to Jeff Sainer.
Right.
Say, like, I know Andy, I know Noble, I know Josh, I know these guys, I know Nettleton. And I'm going to touch on this really quick because this is important to me. Me and Keyshawn both told Logan Hosfite to go to Mountain View High School. I have a video on my phone that I found a few weeks ago of when I was in Phoenix at a Meta Hoops tournament sitting with Logan, and he asked me, what do you think I should do for high school? Owyhee or Mountain View his freshman year? And I know we had the conversation with you. That's your brother. That's your day one. And I have the video of him and I together. And I told him Mountain View. I told him Mountain View, and here's why. I'm going to explain it to people because there's people at Mountain View who thinks, oh, you guys got him to leave. Incorrect. I told him Mountain View because they needed a point guard with Nathan Ojokwu, Owen McBride, and that group. You plug Logan into that group, I said, that's one of the best teams in the state. They're going to be hard to beat. Ojokwu ends up leaving. Even with Nathan leaving, we had the conversation, well, now it's your team. Now you're the guy. You're a freshman, but it's going to be more on your shoulders. It's not going to be as comfortable without Nathan Ojokwu, who left to a prep school. Now it's you. And look what he did. He was probably player of the year. Liam got it. I keep saying this. But Mountain View won the league outright with a freshman at the helm averaging around 20 a game. What a great situation for that kid to start off his high school career. Then Logan transfers. I had nothing to do with that. I thought maybe he should stay. I understood why he wanted to go. People asked me the other day, well, now that it's over, do you think Logan should have transferred? Here's my answer, okay? And Logan knows this. Logan Hosfite going to Mountain View as a freshman was the right decision from a basketball perspective and from friendships and all that. That's why he went. Then he had an opportunity to transfer. The family looked at it long term with Gavin as well, where they wanted to be, all that type of stuff. And they decided to go to Owyhee. They sold their house, which was a crazy situation that I won't get into.
Why they went to Owyhee.
Yeah.
They sold their house.
Someone came to them and said, we'll give you for your house. And for them, that was kind of a sign. So they were like, okay, let's go. They did it. Has Logan had the same type of year this year? Absolutely not. He did not. He wasn't 20 a game. He wasn't the number one option. He was maybe their fourth option behind 3 Division I offerees: Liam, Raz, Bowden Howell. Okay? So he's their fourth option now. And now he's finding out what he needs to do. I don't want him to take this the wrong way, but it has exposed parts of his game that he needs to improve in, which is exactly what you want, which is exactly what he needed. He wants to be a high-level player. He wants to be a Division I player. Now he knows what playing with Division I guards is like with those guys. How do I make these guys better? How do I let them simplify the game for me? How do I find them? How do I improve my defense? How do I improve my playmaking? That is what he went through this year. This was a difficult year for Logan Hosfite up here. I know it was because I know the kid. But my goodness, did he fight through? Did he get tougher, which is crazy because he's already a dog. He got tougher. He improved. He's going to go this way because of it.
Right.
If he would have stayed at Mountain View, he would have led that team to a state tournament bid.
Right.
That's who he would have been. He would have probably been player of the year maybe this year, like he maybe should have been last year. He went to Owyhee. This is my opinion. This is not Keyshawn's opinion. This is my opinion on what happened and how things went down. So when he talked to me again after his freshman year about should I go to Owyhee, I was like, I'm not sure. Because Owyhee, this is what it's going to look like, and Mountain View, this is what it just looked like, and this is what it'll look like. So I'm not sure. But I told him to go to Mountain View High School. So when he left, and I had people from Mountain View staff reach out to me, all pissed off at me, won't talk to me now, won't ignore me. When I had a relationship with them, a friendship relationship is absolutely insane. It's lack of understanding, and it's wanting to put the blame on somebody else. And that's what we're seeing around the valley with a bunch of these coaches being upset at Owyhee. They want to put the blame on somebody else, that Owyhee is now the peak and everyone else has a target to go after.
Well, and it's to be honest, what the Hosfites did with selling their house, like, it's nobody's business.
Nobody's business.
And that's just the
and
truth.
if I apologize if I'm off
about
base.
it, like, that's what they did. Like, they decided to make a decision, and that family I'm very close with. They made the decision. They, I mean, I wouldn't like the decisions they had to make. Like there was no turning that down. So they made the decision what was best for their family as a
But
whole.
you did not lead Logan Hosfite to
No,
Owyhee.
no, no, I didn't. Well, and the thing is, what's crazy is it's like I'm one of the people that I don't do much pointing fingers. I'm
Yeah.
not the type of guy to do that. I can take all the heat. You can blame me. You can be mad at me. You can say whatever it is that you truly want to say because the majority of the people that haven't been in my circle or been to my training or know what I represent, what I stand for, and you judge me based upon what you hear or what you think I act a certain way. I do act confident, or cocky if you want.
No, no,
My
no.
head is
Confident.
held
Confident.
high. I do walk around with a type of swagger. I do because the same swagger that I have, I want all of my kids, whether it's a male athlete or a female athlete, to walk with. I don't want them to ever be the person second guessing themselves, questioning themselves. Why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I doing? I never want that. I want them to walk around. I would rather you be annoyed with me because I'm so full of myself than me sitting there looking at myself in the mirror like, why am I here? And that's why I act the way that I act. It's not even about me. Sometimes it's relaying the energy and the confidence so that these kids can go throughout their day, not just sports, school. I just seen a list of 5 of my guys getting all academic team. Student athlete. There's so much more to this than just basketball. It's their life, it's their well-being, it's the people that they want to be around. So when I look at programs, I look at the situations that each kid goes to, if a kid moves or transfers, it's none of our business.
Yeah.
And to sit there and be mad at, yeah, of course, if I was coaching and a kid that was my best player or one of my standout players left, yeah, I'd be upset. But do you think that I would just stop working hard? Now I got to work even harder. So now I'm going to apply more time to this thing because I'm the one who signed up to be a coach. I'm the one that signed up to build a program. So when I look at the programs that are being built, Meridian, Owyhee, Eagle, you look at even Mountain View's their young teams that typically are in the top all the time. So when I look at the development of these programs, it starts from the first team and goes up. You go and look at Owyhee, look at how much they've won all the way through. And it's their teams are supporting each other. You got the varsity going to the sophomores. You got the varsity going to the JV. Like each guy on that entire program is going to each other's events. They're going to other games, football, volleyball, soccer, right? They have all these wrestling. They're going to all these
The
things
culture is
to
there.
build up a program, to build a culture. And then you have other people that are lazy, complaining about, oh, this school's doing that. Get in the gym. Stop making excuses. Stop pointing the finger and give your time to these kids that need it. So we're sitting there and we're talking about work ethic. When I'm in the gym for example, I wake up at 5:30, I get to the gym at 6, I'm in the gym from 6 to 8:30. When I'm there the entire time, 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., what does that show to all of my kids? I post all of it so they can see, like, listen, you're tired, I'm tired too. I'm still here. You need to do more. For the kids that want to play college, and even for the kids that don't, you're looking at this example that I'm setting for you, and now it's showing you how hard you have to work at anything that you want to be and what you want to have. And when you sit there and you get the bare minimum, you got guys running the same systems from 10 years ago that haven't worked then, they're not working now, complaining? Stop complaining. Do your job or resign because you're doing a disservice to the kids. And that's what this is about. If this is what it's truly about, you could sit there and say, you know what? Okay, I didn't accomplish this year. I'm going to go work harder. I'm going to hire more assistants that are experienced players, not just people that I've had that I want to give a handout to. Let me get experienced players that have played at all levels. Let me be around people that are actually studying the game and are putting forth the game. Let me watch more film or be around, go to these coaching clinics that Coach Blaine puts on, CSI's head coach puts on, Gonzaga's coaches put on, Boise State coaches put on. Let me go to these clinics so I can learn different terminology, different philosophies, different offensive, defensive strategies. So now I can better my program instead of me sitting there complaining, doing nothing but complaining, then going to all these other people saying, hey, we're not going to get into it. We need to do all this to not compete against somebody that's putting in the time. Jeff Saturday would never do that. Never do that. He's going to go and work. He's not making excuses. People probably felt the same way about him when he had the powerhouse with Brody Rubberry and those guys, Joe Mapoyo, his own son, Donovan Sanders. Good teams. But guess what? He was developing them as a program. The conversations that I've had with him, he talks about development. His JV coach, Shelby, I give them to them to see if they're ready.
Yeah.
I give them to them first. They got to go through this first before they're ready for me. Because they have a playbook of 100 plays. If you don't know the playbook, no matter what talent level you are, you will not play. But he's built a program. He's built a culture. That's why every year we're looking at Meridian like, hey, they can beat anybody, no matter who they have.
That's investing into kids. What you're talking about is doing all those other
And that's
things.
what they care about. And you look
Yeah.
at Jeff Sanders' relationship outside of basketball that he has with his players. Those guys love him.
Love them.
They are great things to say. There's guys that come back and coach for him because of the impact that he's had, the winning that he's done. When it's like you look at a school like Meridian, they don't have the brand new jerseys every year. They don't have a brand new court every year. He painted the court himself. This is one of the most prestigious schools, should be. He got to paint the court himself. So when I look at these things, I look at programs like Owyhee and I look at these successful programs, I see the time and effort and dedication they put in. There's no mistake on success. Like there's no mistake that comes with the work. Like they're working for it. They're putting forth the time.
It's not recruiting. That's
It's
not what's doing
They don't
this.
have to recruit.
That's not what's doing
Centennial's
this.
had a transfer. Meridian's had a transfer. Owyhee's had a transfer. Eagles had a transfer.
Eagle had 4 last year.
Nettleton, excuse me, not Nettleton. Mountain View's had a transfer. What are we talking about?
Rocky's
had transfers.
When Paul got the job,
CUNA had transfers. So it's like every school has had transfers, but we're deciding to complain about a powerhouse that the culture has been built. And pay the players before this current state championship team at Owyhee, the Preston Sherburns, the Jack Paynes, the Titus
Bailey's, yes.
Bailey, the
Barrett Fernandez, all the guys.
All these Reese.
Yeah,
Sasser Gunson. Look at pay those guys the respect that they deserve by helping build the program. I've been with Preston Sherburn and Jack Payne. I've known Jack Payne since he was a sophomore. I've been with Preston for a long time. And those guys ran through walls for their teammates. Those guys sacrificed so much to build and help be a part of the culture that Owyhee is today. Let's go to Meridian. Joe Mapoyo, Brody Worldberry, the point guard, McKay.
Yeah, McKay, Drayson
Fisher. All of those, they paved the way for these guys. You can go to Mountain View if you want to and go look at Damon Thacker, go look at Jalen Galloway. All those, they paved the way for these programs to have these coaches stay there. Now the coaches got to continue to push it. It can't just be, oh, I've done this. We don't care about what you did in the past. What are you doing now?
Yeah, and that's what the difference is. And the game has changed out here because of what Owyhee has established with Select and C of I and TVCC and Carroll. And it's what we need to catch up to what everybody else in the country is doing. Right. This is normal, folks. Right. This is what it looks like all around the country. We got a lot of uneducated people that think they know because they've only been here, only seen what's going on here. I'm not from here. You are, but you've been there, done that. But you've been all over the place, played there, been there, done that, okay? So I want to touch on something you said. I'm going to end it with this. You talked about the way people maybe view you sometimes as arrogant or whatever, cocky, whatever, okay? Do not let, and I'm the same, trust me, I'm the same way. I'm this 6-foot white dude walking around dressing like, he thinks he's Deion Sanders and all that type of stuff. But the fact of the matter is this: you know who you are, and you know whose you are, and you know who's in you. Same with me, okay? Do not let our confidence offend your insecurity. That's a Deion Sanders quote that I'm going to live by. Do not let our confidence offend your insecurity, because this is, like he said, about self-belief. You are using the game of basketball to instill self-belief. You got to stay humble, okay? Not cocky. There's parts of the game of basketball where you can trash talk and you feel good and you can start feeling yourself and all that.
Part of the game.
But part of the game, okay, that a lot of people out here don't understand. Like the technical foul on Bowden Howell was the softest technical foul I've ever seen in the history of the game of basketball, because he was hyping, he was clapping. Yeah, that's part of the game. Go to Portland, go to Chicago, go to LA and see what they do.
Worse.
Oh my, people get arrested then.
Right.
Come on, man. So anyway, we use the game, you use your training, I use for me, it's a ministry to instill self-belief in these kids, because like you said, that's what life's about. When you want a job, if you don't believe in yourself, you ain't getting a job.
Right.
You find a girl that you want to marry. There's a bunch of dudes out there. If you don't believe in yourself and who you are and what you have to offer, you ain't gonna get the girl.
Right.
It's every part of life. You use the game of basketball. I say it all the time. This is a tool, folks. We use this as a tool to be a light and plant seeds and instill positivity and ultimately the message of Jesus Christ and who he was and how to treat people and love people and move forward in life. We use the game of basketball to instill that into people. And there's a lot of people out there that don't like it, which makes perfect sense because that's how the enemy works. And that's what it looks like, folks. It's light and it's dark. It's good and it's evil. It's positive and it's negative. It's work hard, it's complain. There's two sides. There's nothing in the middle. We ain't going to be lukewarm on nothing. It is what it is. This is who we are. This is what we do. Tons of people out there don't like it. Coaches don't like it. Parents don't like it. A bunch of media people don't like it.
Right.
And that's fine. You don't have to like it. We are who we are. We're here for a reason. We're going to use the game that we love. You love training. I love relationships. We're going to do those things, and we're going to continue to be a light and be honest. And if you don't like it, don't listen to it.
Right.
But Owyhee's not the problem. Owyhee has done nothing but positive things at this point. And if Coach Harrington is talking to a kid that's on your team or talking to a kid you know, that's relational. And there are coaches that tell kids will come to coaches and be like, hey, if I want to transfer to Owyhee, is there an opportunity? I'm sure there's conversations with a ton of coaches. I know the kid from Utah I talked to has gone to Eagle to talk, to Owyhee to talk, to Meridian to talk, to Centennial to talk. He wants to get to know the program and the coach before he makes a decision. Does that mean people are recruiting? No, they're presenting what they have to offer and they're showing their resume and track record. If you don't like it, fix it.
Right.
That's where we're at with it. And anyway, this was a tough episode to do.
Right.
But it needed to happen. It's needed to happen for a while. People are going to probably unfollow and not like it. But listen, we both felt like this is something we needed to share our hearts. I appreciate you sharing that story. I appreciate you sharing your heart per usual. You're a blessing to this community, to this basketball community. This community is growing in the right direction because of you. And I thank you for doing this podcast with me. And we'll continue to try to do what we're doing with this podcast as we move forward. I've got some life changes coming that are going to change things up a little bit, but we are not going to stop being a light to this community and to these people we know. And people aren't going to like that. They're going to call it toxic. They're going to be angry about it. They're going to tell people not to wear EBC gear. They're going to tell people to not be a part of me. They're going to call club basketball people who run clubs and tell them that they shouldn't be around me and all that type of stuff. And all that stuff is going to come. And I'm okay with that because that is what happened to Jesus when he was here. And I know whose I am and I know who I am. And you too, bro. I love you and I appreciate you and in prayer. And I need to get that off my chest because I'm done with all that. If you want to smoke, give me a call and talk to me and we can talk through it because I love everybody. I don't agree with everybody or support everybody's decisions, but I do love everybody and I do want to support everybody in what they want to do. And I will continue to do that because I think overall people have right intentions.
Well, and it's also like you don't have to agree with what we said, and you could think that we're wrong, and that's 100% fine too. But just know that the intent, so you heard it here first, is for these kids and the best interest of these kids. I don't get paid to have a kid go to Owyhee or go to any other school, Meridian, wherever. Like that doesn't take care of my bills and allows me to take care of my family. But what I will say is that I will always put forth my kids before I even put myself. I will always put forth Jesus and what's right and doing what's right before anything else. And I will stand on what I stand on, and there is no budging because at the end of the day, if I can just be a light and provide an opportunity for somebody to one, reach the kingdom or be on the path to reaching the kingdom, then I've done what I'm supposed to do. And yes, it was very like angry. It seemed like we were angry, but there's just some times where people don't realize we are human and we don't make all the right decisions. We don't say all the right things. There's sometimes that what I said may be misinterpreted and way that I've moved that may be misinterpreted, and that's okay. A conversation goes a long way. But to have these predetermined ideas of how people are and what they do and all these things, or he doesn't, like, if you've been a part of my circle, if you've been a part of what I do and you've seen what we've done and with the Hoopers Light, you've seen us at the state tournament, tons of kids coming up, taking pictures, want to represent the gear. They see what we stand for. It's more, the kids support us more so than some of the parents. Some people tune in for the clips and some people turn in for the whole episode. And which, if you want to tune in. You don't have to. But we're giving you the real spiel. We're not bribed. We're not paid. We're just giving you what we see, our opinions. And if you disagree with us, that's 100% okay. Doesn't make us bad people because we have a different opinion than you, and it doesn't make you a bad person either. And you can be right, we can be right, you can be wrong, we can be wrong. I was wrong on all of my predictions this year. And outside of I think of why he went in the state tournament. But outside of that, like, dude, I just want these kids to have an opportunity to go and get a free education. I want these kids to have an opportunity to go be a CEO or a business owner. I want these kids to have the opportunity to go share the gospel of Jesus Christ with other people. I go to so many things to support these kids and their ventures, whatever they desire to do, because I don't just train basketball, even though everybody thinks that's the only thing. I have college volleyball, I have college football, professional basketball, and I just want to help people. And I want to love people.
You just got back from Baylor University, sitting courtside watching your boy pop off against Texas, because the relationship you have,
Right.
and the light you've been in his life, and vice versa. These kids teach us more than we teach them, probably.
Right.
Like and honestly, and so you may think you know us. You may think you have a feel. You don't. You don't know us.
Right.
Come get to know us. Okay. All we want to do is be a positive light in your life. Everybody, even the people out there that are saying all these negative things about me specifically, about him specifically, that's okay, man. I forgive you. I love you. You just don't know. I wish the best for everybody moving forward. So we'll continue with this. I think maybe we'll do a Gatorade Player of the Year episode next week and have some fun with it. Thanks for tuning in. All love all the time. And we are available on Hooper's Delight on Instagram, Adversity Athletes, Keyshawn Liggins, EBC Ministry. Shout out to our guy, CDM Production. Caden Prosize does a great job for us. He makes it happen. He did an incredible job and didn't get the recognition he deserved at the state tournament. He was unbelievable for the Owyhee men's basketball page all year, and they got a gem there. So shout out to you, CDN, behind the camera, and we'll see y'all soon. Love you, baby.
Quick prayer.
Quick prayer. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to honestly talk about you today in this kind of heated episode, but something that needed to be talked about. And hopefully people have an open mind and an open heart to receive some of the things that we're trying to help people understand. But continue to use the game of basketball as a tool to show you and for others to get to know you, and use Keyshawn and myself and Caden as your instruments to show your light and just to show your love, because that's what it's about. It's about people, it's about love, and it's about what's forever, and that's eternity with you, and that's knowing you. And we're just trying to do that the best we can through this platform that you've given us. We thank you, we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Love you, man.
Love you, bro.